Shalom. You got a Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad, with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, so first and foremost, call Halayam La Ala Ayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akar Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Alright, double honors unto the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone at Rulewell. Double salutation unto the brothers who preach and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites. Shalom unto the very few but faithful. The Akwat. Something on my this thing, Yeah, the Akwat, alright, who listening and learning. Alright, there's just, I don't want to stay too long. I don't want to stay too long, for this here. But, what I would say is this, right, to start off, common sense. Common sense is something, you just have to know how to use common sense in this thing of ours. Alright? You just have to know how to and when to practice common sense in this thing of ours, this truth of ours. Alright? Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shem give us, I will believe that he gave us common sense, to work with and what have you, so forth. Alright, and the reason why I'm saying that, going back to this individual, Brother Hassad from the Sakari camp, pursuant to their breakdown and their understanding, of Revelation chapter 20, and speaking about Gog and Magog and whatnot, so forth, and them, not only that, but Ezekiel 38 also too, and then I'm going to go into Ezekiel 38, not that I can't go down into it, but other brothers already addressed it, alright? They are already addressed it. What my take is, what I going to expound on, and my take on the whole situation and how I see it is that Brother Hassad is not practicing common sense. Alright, he's not practicing common sense in the understanding. Common sense within the understanding, alright, or the prophecy. Now, I'm going to start with Daniel chapter 7. Reason why I'm starting with Daniel chapter 7, alright? Daniel chapter 7 gives us the prophecy of the four major kingdoms that is going to have rulership on the earth, alright? And how their rulership is going to be and whatnot, so forth, before the coming of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, and when he comes, all things is going to fall under his domain and under his dominion and whatnot, so forth, under his subjection and all these things. Alright, so as I say, Daniel chapter 7, it speaks of four empires. It never prophesy or speak on five or a fifth empire. Alright? And this is where common sense lies. When you're reading and you're getting the understanding of the scripture. Alright? It never speaks of a fifth empire. Because if it is that the Russians, they they are the ones to come up after Yahushua took down Esau and what have you, so forth. Then basically you are saying that there is a fifth empire coming into place. And the scripture never spoke of that. You know, because when I listen to his argument, you know, and what have you, you know, he come up on the Apostles channel, left his comment or whatever, and his response to brothers when brothers, you know, address the situation and whatnot, so forth. For me, I see it as one, you're not using common sense. Two, you're not having understanding. Alright. Three, I don't know what to say about number three now, but common sense and not having understanding, those two main things. Alright, and just shows. So without further ado, I believe I rant enough. Alright, I'm just going to go to some key scriptures. I say I'm not staying long with this. I don't want to stay long with this. I have no intention of staying long with this. So I'm going to start with Daniel. Chapter 7. Alright, this is Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7 and 1. I'll start from verse 1, where it reads, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven shove upon the great sea. Alright? Those four winds he is speaking about are these four major empires that will come into existence. The sea represents the people. Verse 3, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. They were different one from another. Alright, within their way of rulership and what have you, so forth. Alright, verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings, which is speaking about the Assyrians. Their symbol was the lion with wings. And I beheld till the wings were plucked off. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. And it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Alright, this is speaking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Alright, where, what's his name? Nebuchadnezzar, his grandfather, of course. Other history, Corona, mislead. Alright, but I think it was his father, Nebuchadnezzar's father. I think his name was Nebuchadnezzar or something like that. Alright, he had Babylon. Babylon was under the Assyrians. Let's just put it that way. Babylon was under the Assyrians, and he was a suzerain ruler where, you know, he was ruling Babylon and whatnot, so forth, but he still had to pay tribute unto the Assyrians and what have you, and he led a revolt. You can go and research that history. He led a revolt and he won. Alright, he won in that revolt against the Assyrians, and he had Babylon under his stewardship. He had to pay no more tributes and whatnot, taxes and whatnot, so forth to the Assyrians and all. That is why he said, and the wings were blocked off, alright? And a man's heart was given unto him, which was Nebuchadnezzar. Alright, he was ruler. Alright, and he gave off, when he passed on, his rulership was passed on to Nebuchadnezzar, and what have you, so forth. Alright, I hope I have it down back there. Alright, that's a brief history. But anyhow, Verse 5. So verse 4 is speaking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the Neo-Assyrian, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Alright, because they were Assyrians actually. Alright. Verse 5, and behold, another beast is second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. Alright, so verse 5 here is speaking about the Medo-Persian Empire. Alright, the Medo-Persian Empire. The 3 ribs represent the 3 major provinces of the Babylonian Empire that they had wrestled, they had wrested from, or wrestled from the Babylonians. It was Babylon, Babylonia, Lycidia, I think it was Lycidia, and I know for sure Egypt. Alright, I think it's Lycidia is the name of that other province. Alright, and Egypt. Alright. That was the Medo-Persian Empire, verse 5. Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 wings, and dominion was given to it. Alright, which is speaking about the Grecians. Alright, speaking about Alexander coming into power and what have you, so forth. He was the first of the Edomites to reign upon the face of the earth. Alright? The known world at that time. Verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Alright? So this is speaking about what? This is speaking about the Roman Empire, alright? The ancient pagan Roman Empire. Okay? Verse 8, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom they were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now this is speaking, verse 8. Alright, verse 8, it is speaking about what? It is speaking about America. Alright, because America, okay, America is the new and revised Roman Empire. Alright, when you go and read Revelation 20 and 1 until verse 2, a matter of fact, let me get it. Let me get it. Revelation 20 and 1, it reads, and I saw an angel came down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Alright, that angel it is speaking about is us, the Israelites. Alright. That represents the Holy Roman Empire. Alright, I gotta make sure I'm trying. Keep that in the head there, bring it back while I come to it, right? So I'm here. So, alright, because what they wouldn't teach is that the Roman Empire was split into 2, alright? Yeah, the Western and the Eastern Roman Empire. The Western was the pagan Roman Empire, the Eastern was the Holy Roman Empire, which was capital at Constantinople, which was also known as the Byzantine Empire, whilst the West was capital at Rome, which was known as the pagan Roman Empire. Alright, so what it says, it says here, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. Alright? That old serpent. Alright, from that old serpent from Sence garden, which is speaking about a man. Alright, but you all know his types and allegories and metaphors, the scriptures have written into it, especially Revelation. So, when it says here, and he laid hold on the dragon, which is speaking about what? The ancient Roman Empire, because the ancient Roman Empire, they were known as the red dragon. Alright, that old serpent, which is the devil all right, which is the devil, the liar, the deceiver, all right, and Satan, which they are the physical counterpart of the spiritual being Satan, these Edomites, and bound him 1,000 years, all right, and cast him into the bottomless pit. All right, that bottomless pit is Europe. All right, mainly it's Europe, all right. But they were cast away. They were cast in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, right? Which was the Dark Ages. And after that he must be loosed a little season. All right. After that he must be loosed a little season, which he was loosed, which was the Renaissance period. All right, which was known as the Renaissance period till now. All right, where they are still reigning upon the face of the earth. They managed to have full dominion over the full earth. All right, the full compass of the earth, four corners of the earth. All right. So going back to the Daniel chapter 7 and verse 8. All right, where he said, and he considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them and another little horn. That is speaking of America. All right, because America is that new Rome again. America is that new Bosra. All right, the capital of these Edomites. You know, this is where their empire stems from. This is where the tentacles of their empire starts from America. All right, and then they spread out all the tentacles, you know, throughout Europe and throughout the four corners of the earth and what have you, so forth. But their main city, their capital city, is America. All right. So the point what I'm drawing at here, you know, and it says, all right, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. All right, and those 3 horns it is speaking about the French, the Spanish, and the British. All right, because America, they had managed to defeat the British, number 1. All right, the French end up getting booted out of America by the way of France, Slovakia. Well, I should say America too, by the way of America purchasing Louisiana and what have you, so forth from the French after the French were defeated by the Levites, the so-called Haitians, right, with the Haitian Revolution, and what have you, so forth. All right, so nevertheless, and then you had the Spanish-American War, in which the Spaniards and what have you, they were defeated, you know, and that's how Puerto Rico came under the hands of America, and what have you, so forth. So what I'm getting at, you know, is that the scripture is speaking about 4 empires. All right, 4 empires. Now, the scripture is speaking of these 4 empires. After this last empire, because the reason why I read the Revelation 20 and 2, because remember it says, and Satan was bound, the devil and Satan, they were bound for 1,000 years until the 1,000 years was fulfilled and they should be loosed on a little season. All right, so they go about through the earth, because when they go down to Revelation 20, because this thing it's too easy. 20 and 7, where it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. All right, the 1,000 years in which he was, in which during the Dark Ages, he should be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, which is speaking about the Russians, all right, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right, which is speaking about World War III. So they're going to go about deceiving the world, all right, until they're going to be doing the wickedness, all right. These Edomites, all right. These Edomites in Slovakia, the so-called Americans and the British and the French and whatnot, the beasts. Let me just spell it as that, the beasts, the whore and the beast, all right. The beast The 10 horns, all right, because the beast is the system, all right, and the whole that riding the beast is America, all right. The beast is the system, all right, really, the European Union and NATO, all right. The 10 horns represents the European Union, all right. So they are going to go about deceive. They are going to go about with their deception and destruction and lies and all this manipulation and whatnot, so forth, you know, until it reaches the point of World War III, where they are going to stand off against, they're going to have that great standoff against the Russians and the whole BRICS nations and whatever, so forth, you know. So yeah, for that ultimate clash. Alright? For that ultimate clash. So it says here, let me see. Alright? I wonder if I can remember that scripture about it. But anyhow, alright, so it says, and he shall deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. The number is whom as the sand of the sea. So this is speaking about World War III. So now, alright, just because you read that there, that doesn't mean that which we know for a fact, that doesn't mean which we know for a fact that the Russians, they are the ones that are going to destroy, they are going to destroy America and what have you, so forth, and they are going to defeat, you know, the beast and what have you, so forth. That doesn't mean that the Russians now, they are all going to come to start up a whole, or to start up an empire, all right, to start up an empire. When we go back in our land and whatnot, the Lord is going to lead them for them to start up an empire, for them to go back. Because if, the reason why I'm saying that, if it is, all right, let me go with what you're saying, Hassan. Basically, what you are saying is that there is a fifth empire to come about upon the face of the earth. Straight on forward. I ain't going to beat around the bush. All right? That is what you're thinking there. That is what you're saying there in a nutshell. That is the understanding I am getting from listening to your explanation. All right? That is going to have a fifth empire, which the scripture never prophesied. All right? The scripture never prophesied that. The scripture has spoken about four empires. All right? And after, which is Daniel 2. Let's take a look at Daniel 2. So you brothers and sisters, especially young brothers and sisters, will get a clarity of what I'm speaking about, you know. I want to go to the point. I don't want to go through. You know what? I will start from 32. Start from what? 32? No, not 32. I'll start from 29. Daniel 2:29. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter, and he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. Who is that he that revealeth secrets? Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai. Alright, verse 30. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes, that thou shalt make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, and his legs of iron, his feet part of part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut. And this is the thing here. From this, if you can't tell me you're reading this part, that from when you read 34, when you can't tell me that doesn't bring any sort of common sense of understanding pursuant to the prophecies. Come on. I'm reading it. 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet. Which smote the image upon his feet. That stone that was cut out without hands is who? Yahushua. I would believe you have that understanding, right? Alright, and that smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. And break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces. So what that's showing you, because I'm going to keep my sanity here. The part of the last part, because here where the stone hit. The stone then hit the head. The stone then hit the chest, the arms, the belly. The stone then hit the thighs. The stone hit the feet. Alright, the stone hit the toes. Knock it off from off its feet. Your feet is the last part of your body. And that's why myself and the God made a serious video. A serious video pursuant to this. If you don't understand Daniel chapter 2 and that statue, that image that Nebuchadnezzar had dreamt, you know, and the breakdown that Daniel is breaking down for you, if you don't understand that, you don't understand prophecy. Alright? You don't understand the time that you're living in. Because if there was to come any more rulership after that, when that image has been broken down, the scripture would have put some other part, it would have had some sort of addition, so to speak, on the image. You might have had to add on an next piece of limb or something. I don't know. Alright? Which goes to show that the Most High is not the author of confusion. Alright, the stone breaking the image from the tools and everything just all fall apart. Which means victory has been secured. Alright, victory has been secured. We are being restored, the children of Israel being restored, and whatnot, so forth, the kingdom of heaven, and the rulership, and, you know, all these things. All these things. That's what I say, you know, it's just simple common sense. It don't take rocket science. Alright, once the Lord gave that understanding, alright, and you get that understanding, then now you start to practice common sense. You start to put common sense into play now. Because you're already getting that understanding. Alright, so it says here, and smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, and the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the stomach threshing floor. So they became no more. They became no more. Why the Russians now coming to fit into this? Because if it is so, then you are speaking about a fifth empire coming into play now. The scripture never speaks of 5 empires. The scripture speaks of 4 empires. Alright? So it says, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. No place was found for them. But the Russians go and find a place now. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, all right, which is what? Rulership, governmental structure, all right, which goes back to, let me see, it's Isaiah 9, I believe. I want to believe it's Isaiah 9 and 6 or something like that. Isaiah 9 and 6, yep. Isaiah 9 and 6. All right, I'll start from 5. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning of fuel and fire, which goes into what? The thermonuclear missiles. This is going to be the last end all be all. This is going to be the last hurrah, the last, plague to full face on the earth, the last plague to come to take place upon the face of the earth. Verse 6. When that take place now, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth forever, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts, all right, will perform this, all right. So when you go back, all right, where it says, and that smote the image, Daniel 1:35, all right, last line, and that smote the image and became a great mountain and filled the whole earth, yeah? So that's showing you that after the destruction is Yahweh's reign with no hindrance, all right, with no hindrance. Verse 36, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven hath given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. All right, in the Babylonian Empire. Verse 39, and after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, all right, which is that kingdom he's speaking about is the Medo-Persian. They were the chest of they were the chest and they were the chest, yeah, of silver. All right, they were the ones representing the silver. All right, and another third kingdom of brass, which is speaking about the Grecians, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes were part of potter's clay and part of iron, all right, which is speaking about, this is speaking about the new and revised Rome, all right, the new and revised Rome, all right, with the 10 horns, which is speaking about the European Union, all right, which is speaking about the beast, which is no longer 10 nations, because of the European Union, they have expanded, all right, trying to throw a prophecy on what have you. So like here. All right, but what? Why they are part iron and part clay? Because they are part weak and part strong. All right, they have some of the European nations, European countries that is within the EU. All right, some of them are strong financially and militarily, while some of them are not strong, and they are not strong financially nor militarily. All right, but all in all, they are all in one clique. All right, but what does it goes on to say? But what does it go on to say? And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Alright, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be, that's not yet, but shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Alright, so what is showing here, they're not going to be of one accord. Alright? The scriptures speak of if Satan cast out Satan, let me see if I can get a. It's Matthew what again with our scripture, but I think it's Matthew 7. I want to read. How can he then stand? No, there's always in Matthew 13. Bear with me, let's see if I can find that. Yeah, Matthew 12 actually. Matthew 12:25 it reads, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Alright? And this is what it is taking place with the EU nations and what have you, so forth, with the beast, the beast and the whore, because they are all a house divided. Alright? So it says here, let me see, I'm going to continue, finish off verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, which shows that this is the time that we are living in here. This is the part of the prophecy that we are living in here right now. Alright? So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves together with the seeds of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as the iron is not mixed with clay. Alright? Point here now, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. Alright? And it shall stand forever. So what is showing you that after the destruction of Esau, Edom, alright, when America gets its judgment, alright, there is no other nation to come up against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, there is no other nation to come up against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, because you have to remember the Edomites, the Russians also, they are Edomites. But what did the Lord do? Pursuant to Revelation 13. Because all these things here, I just going through the power and spirit. It's not anything written down or anything, but it's common sense, when you get the understanding. When you get the understanding, alright, and you got to understand the prophecy and the proper breakdowns on these things, You start to use common sense within it. Alright, you start to use the common sense within it and come to the understanding, this is how it is actually going within its perspective order. Alright? Everything is falling right in its place, 3 o'clock cannot come before 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock must come first, then 3 o'clock. You understand what I'm saying? So when I go to Revelation 13, now watch this, Revelation 13 and 1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea, alright, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Those 7 heads are what? These 7 major Edomite empires that had ruled upon the face of the earth, starting with the Grecians, then the Romans, alright, then Germany Major, Germany Minor, France, Spain, and England, 7, alright, and America, America is the 8th out of the 7. You understand? Because America, they came out of England. Alright, America is that another little horn. When you read in this Revelation, in the when they read in oh Lord, when they read in help me here, the Daniel 7 and 8. Also Revelation 17. Also Revelation 17. Right, hey. Alright, so continuing. Alright, and so he had 7 heads and 10 horns, which is the European Union. Alright, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, which is the Grecians, and his feet was the feet of a bear, which is the Russians. Alright? And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Alright? The lion is the British, alright, because that's their symbol. Alright? And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, which the dragon is the dragon is speaking about there is the old Roman Empire. Alright? So, what this is showing you here is that the Lord has risen up the bear to be that counteractor, towards America and the beast, alright, towards the whore and the beast. There's what it is here. Alright? The Lord has risen up the Russians to be the ones to be the opposition towards the whore and the beast. Now I'm going to go to the Apocrypha, and I'm going to pull out 2 things from the Apocrypha. 2 things I'm going to pull out from the Apocrypha. Which is 2nd Esdras, first thing first, I will start it with 2nd Esdras 13. Second Esdras 13. 2nd Esdras 13 and 1. Pages kind of 10. I not 10. I could be years. Alright, so 2nd Esdras 13 and 1. I'm reading all the way down to verse oh boy. Anyhow, let me just read. 2nd Esdras 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. Alright, the sea represents the people, alright? And I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, which is speaking about who? Speaking about the Yahushai. The thousands of heaven, it is speaking about the angels and the chariot. Alright? This is speaking about Revelation 12 and 7, that war in heaven, the battle in heaven. Yeah, this is what it's speaking about here. It's giving you a greater outlook, a greater, understanding. So it says, right, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. Alright? Because this is speaking about the height of World War III. This is speaking about after America being destroyed by thermonuclear fire, the Lord now coming to deal with, he doesn't deal with America, so now his attention is turned on to the rest of the nations. Alright, because what is going to happen after America is being destroyed, alright, the nations, they're going to start a battle amongst themselves to gain the upper hand, to gain supremacy, to try the best to set up an empire. Because watch now, World War III, this World War, the new world order, all right, because it's not just the oligarchs, on the Western Hemisphere, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and these men and whatnot. As the New World Order is not just, not only them trying to seek a New World Order. The Russians and the Chinese and them also too, they also is trying to seek their New World Order, their way of their New World Order. Basically, a new empire. Alright, a new empire. So when America is destroyed, these nations is going to fight amongst themselves to try to set up their empire. Alright, but Yahweh Shai, he now is going to come when America is destroyed and these nations fighting up against each other. But when America is being destroyed, the elect is being taken up. Alright? The elect is being taken up. And these nations, they're going to leave off from fighting each other to fight against Yahweh Shai. Hence the reason why we read in Daniel chapter 2, you know, where it mentioned that the Lord is going to smote the image by its feet. When he says smote the image, all right, is a metaphor for coming to destroy these nations. And when he destroyed these nations, pursuant to same Daniel chapter 2, but going down to verse 44, all right, these nations is not going to have any part in any sort of rulership. They're not going to rise. They could never be able to rise up again to see them coming up against Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai, he is going to have his governmental order now. This is his show. It was always his show, but now he is going to show you, he's going to let you know whose show it really is. They'll just play it in that way. Alright, so it says, and all things trembled that was seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. And like as the earth faileth, when it feeleth the fire, which is speaking about the laser beams from the chariots. Alright, they're not speaking about his literal voice, they're speaking about the laser beams. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Alright? To subdue the man that came out of the sea. And I beheld, and lo, he gave himself a great mountain and flew upon it, which is a chariot. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Alright, so the chariot is going to be so big that you're not going to see you wouldn't be able to measure that chariot to know from when it started to when it ended. Alright? There's what it is. Verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And yet durst fight. Alright, this is speaking about the height of World War III. There's not going to be, the scripture speaks about 3 wars. Alright, 3 wars. And after the third war is going to be the greatest war, the greatest destruction upon the face of the earth. And there's not going to be any war after that, any more war after that. You understand? So it says, and lo, so that they were so afraid and yet durst fight. Alright? And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, which is the laser beam from the chariot, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue to cast out with sparks and tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of the fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burning them up every one, so that a sudden, of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was so afraid. All right? So the Lord what? The Lord destroying all these armies. All right? All these armies, the great multitude. All right? Of armies. Verse 12. Afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude, which is the elect. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorrow, some of them were bound, which is what? Slavery. All right? And others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast come to me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayers. All right? So, this it has no fifth empire that is going to rule, or any of the nations trying to go to set up a fifth empire. All right, to say, all right, they couldn't come up against the Lord so that they can be able to establish their empire. No, it's not going to work that way. Because when you go to same second Ezra, but second Ezra 11, and I think this is second to last scripture I'll bring you, because I have a next scripture in my mind that I want to come out with. Second Ezra 11 and 37. How are you dealing with this, Brother Hassad? All right. Second Ezra 11 and 37, it reads, And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw he sent out of a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, and the eagle represents who? Esau, Edom. And the Russians are Edomites, and the Russians do use the eagle as their symbol also too. All these Edomites, they use the eagle as their symbol. The Lord ain't going to just destroy America and destroy the European Union and whatnot so forth, just make up of Edomites and whatnot so forth, and leave the Russians to come back for them. That no. He's going to done with them all together. All together. The Lord is going to destroy the whole house of Esau. Because the Russians, they are wicked too. Alright, the Russians going to implement their MOTB system and all these things too. What you feel? You feel Putin is this such great man, and you know, this such righteous man because he show off the what they call it again, the Russian icons, and show that Russia was ruled by Negroes first, and this and that, and blah 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 blah. The whitewashing of the images of Yahushua and the children of Israel, and and he exposed it. No. The Most High is going to deal with Putin and all of them the same way as the rest of the Edomites. So it says here, verse 38, Hear thou, I will talk with thee. Alright, the eagle is speaking about. And the high shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts? Of the four beasts, the remainder of the four beasts. Why are the remainder of the four beasts? Because the Roman Empire has been revived, has been revitalized, all right, has been reincarnated and come back upon the face of the earth again, and they go about with much deception until it reaches out to what? To all-out war. This is what it is speaking about. Use common sense. Read the scripture. Use. You understand the prophecies and use common sense with this thing, man. Alright? So it says, we said, verse 439, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? That the end of their times might come through them? How the end of their times is going to come through? By them, by the way of their own devices, by the way of the thermonuclear missiles. You understand? This is what it is. Alright? Verse 40, And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. And the whole compass of the earth with much wickedness. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth has thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast heard the peaceable, thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Alright? So the Lord, so this is showing you after these people has been brought down by Yahushua and the angels and the 144,000 elect, there is no more to rise up again. Because this here is total judgment. This end game here is total judgment, plain and simple. Alright, plain and simple. And it says, and therefore appear no more thou eagle, alright, no more the Edomites, nor thy horrible wings, alright, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, alright, which is the leadership on all these things, alright, nor thy malicious heads, alright, nor thy hurtful claws, which goes into the military, nor all thy vain body, which goes back to the European Union and all the organizations and whatnot, so forth. All right, the Council on Foreign Relations and what they call it again, the United Nations, and you all know the G7 and G8 and G20. All that is going to be done away with. All right, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. So when I go now to Revelation, I think it's Revelation 19. It's Revelation 19, I want to believe. It's just common sense, it's just common sense. Revelation 19, and I think it's 11. Just now, what does be out now? Bear with me. Let me see. I'm assuming. Bear with me. It's not 19 now. Is a scripture looking for Revelation 19 good, but I'm looking for the scripture where you speak about the crowns upon his head. This very small thing. You know what? I will find it and post it up in the comment section. Alright, when this go up, I will find it. Because I thought it was Revelation 19. I thought it was Revelation 19. Where it speaks about him having the crowns upon his head. And I do think it's Revelation 18. You know what? I will leave it at that, and I will just go to this last scripture here. I will just go to this last scripture here. I will have to look for it and put it in the comment section. I don't want to waste time. Alright, so Sirach, I think it's 3. Is it? I know I will find this one. I know I will find Alright, so you have Sirach 3 and 19, it reads, many are in high places and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Yeah, he's honored of the lowly, and these men, they tend to be, they always put themselves on this pedestal, you know, with the pride and what have you, so forth, so built up with much pride, and what have you, so forth. Alright? Seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eye the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. Alright, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. This is what it is. Alright, this is what it is here. Alright, so, hey, you gotta use common sense with this thing, man. You gotta use common sense with this thing. Alright? And get down understanding properly. Alright, so I hope you all are edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright? Sikal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Ba'asham Akadash. Alright? Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preach and teach the truth, show the four corners of the earth, which can lies and the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the respectable Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is the sisters, alright, that listening and learning. Your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad, signing out, saying shalom, shalom, shalom. Let me see how to turn this here now.